Are you struggling to find your true self right now? Are you in your 20s and post-college, or you didn't go to college but you're still trying to figure out who you are, what you want to do, who you want to be? Well, I understand and I feel you. I'm still currently in that process. So post-college, I've been on this self-development, wellness journey, self-discovery, and I've, gone into the self-help books and all of that, and I really realized one simple thing that will truly help you find your true self. And it's not the self-help books, it's not some documentary, it's something that's so simple that you won't even realize how simple it is. Start off by saying that, of course, I'm still a work in progress, as we all are and as we will always be. I think that we're always a work of progress and we can always improve and learn new things about ourselves, but you can also just get closer and closer to who you authentically are with time. So the first way you can do that is just literally by thinking. So you can think back and see what your childhood self liked. What were you gravitated towards? Did you always go towards cars? Did you like to draw a lot? Did you like to create things? Drawn towards nature? Were you drawn towards plants? Were you drawn towards any particular thing? And how were you kind of living your day-to-day life, even though you were a child? Because not every child is the same, right? And how you are and how you act as a kid is very, for the most part, it's very showing and telling of who you are. Our childhood really holds valuable information about our true essence. So I just encourage you to chill and just think about, what are your earliest memories? What brings you joy? What brought you joy? What were some hobbies that you were interested in? What were some things that you were drawn towards? What is it that you just kind of did and were excited to do on your free time? People may have been very drawn towards swimming, drawn towards creating things and creativity, and some just really enjoyed performing or singing, acting, dancing, doing plays, things of that sort. So you can kind of just look back and think to yourself, what did little me really like? What were they drawn towards? What did they enjoy? I know that, parents and family play a role in what influences you and what you're the environment that you're in, and it can play a role as to what you're exposed to, and then automatically that's what you think you like. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying, oh, you were forced to play piano for 12 years, so it's oh, you must want to be a pianist. No, not like that. Something that you gravitated towards yourself naturally, or you feel like you had a natural knack for. Now, if you're sitting and thinking and you're man, I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast 2 days ago. How am I going to remember what brought me joy as a kid? Well, that's where your handy-dandy relatives, family, friends, and family members come in. So the second thing that you can do is just have conversations. You can have conversations with parents, with older siblings, or even younger siblings, and relatives, aunts, uncles, family friends, even childhood friends. You can just ask them questions and be what was I like? What was I drawn towards? What do you remember? And oftentimes there will be at least someone that has a memory or something about you, or a story, or yeah, you were always drawing. I'm sure there will be someone, or at least some memory, that can help you out. And of course, I know it's different for everyone, and I understand that, but if you're able to, it is a good resource to utilize, because these people are the ones that knew you best in your formative years, and so it only makes sense to utilize them and their knowledge and memories. You can talk to family members that you spent a lot of time with. You can ask them, what did you gravitate towards? What were your tendencies? What were you like, and what you like to do, how you interacted with people. This can be a really good clue into who you really are as well. A last resource that can really help you out, aside from yourself, family, friends, would be home videos. Now, I know, okay, I know, not everyone might have home videos, and it's really a privilege if you do have home videos, and so I know that this might not apply for everyone, and unfortunately, it is what it is, but if you are lucky enough to have home videos of yourself when you're younger, I highly encourage that you utilize them. Like, trust me, you want to utilize them. Like, I myself have gone back and looked at my home videos, and time again, every time I watch it, I notice new things, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so funny, that's so funny. Like, I'm like this and that and that, and like, I notice things about myself that now that I'm, you know, in my mid-20s and I've really like worked on myself, known who I am, I'm starting to understand that I'm kind of reverting back to my true childhood self, and it's been really refreshing to see, and it's so interesting because it's kind of like, wow, that's literally me, that's like little me, I'm literally the same person. And it's like, obviously you are, but it's like throughout, you know, I'm starting to see that more now, because now that I'm finally getting to be more of my true self and understanding myself more, obviously through, you know, reflection, self-development, all these things. It's really interesting to see the like connections and how similar I am to like my childhood self. If you do have home videos, and sometimes it's really funny too, like you'll see funny things, and trust me, it'll be fun. And if you have time, great. If you don't have time, then make time and just sit through all of the videos that you have, or even if you just have one, even if you have just one clip, like it's still telling of kind of like your personality and how you are, and it's just, and if you're speaking in it, it's really cool. So I would highly recommend that you look into that and you ask family members if you have home videos of your childhood self. So turning back to your childhood self, like I did, really is important because it shows you who you were prior to societal programming. It is a time where there's very minimal influence. Obviously there's your parents and family, but still, you haven't been exposed to the world yet in a very high magnitude way. You haven't been exposed to programming as much, you haven't been exposed to the schooling, and essentially you just haven't been exposed to the real world. You are the most untainted version of yourself, and that's why it is really nice to go back and analyze that, because it's telling and it can actually help you really see who you are. More often than not, there's a lot of characteristics, quirks, hobbies, interests that come back, and it's who you really were. Like, for example, because I've done this myself, I've noticed when I was a child, I was really gravitated towards like creation, right? So I loved Play-Doh. I would always get excited. I would always utilize it. I loved going to, you know, Michael's, and I would get like art supplies and I would make things. And I remember I would always be excited for anniversaries, birthdays, things like that, because I always loved making cards for people. Like, and it would be like creative, made from scratch. Like, I just loved creating cards. I also really enjoyed signing myself up for like art contests at school and things of that sort. And I also really liked cooking. And so I look back at that and I'm like, I really just enjoyed creating. Like, I loved creativity. I was a very creative child. And that is something that I'm realizing that is, I feel like since I was in like K through 12, I wasn't really tapping into my creative side really, but I realized that that is a main component in who I am, and I've realized that in kind of anything and everything I do, I have this creative element, like this creative way of thinking. Another example would be just my personality traits. Like, I see how I was then, and I am the way I am now. Like, I was, you know, like to have fun, and I would be bold, and I would just not really care what people thought, in the sense that I was just my true authentic self, and I was just purely myself. So I was just purely Pauline. And it's just really nice to see that, because it just goes to show how powerful societal programming and the school system and just societal pressures are. And once you kind of peel away and like break out of that and kind of reprogram yourself and go back to your real self. It's really liberating and awesome. So I've done this, and it's a really simple way to get closer to your true authentic self and figure out who you really are. And it's worth a shot, you know? It's also free. Really hope that this helped somebody out there. It really helped me, especially if you're in your 20s or late teens and you're trying to figure out who you are. This is like an easy, chill way to kind of help with that. And I hope that this video helps you out and inspires you to find your true authentic self. So please like and subscribe for more content, and comment down below if you are also on this journey of trying to figure out your true self, and if you've also watched your childhood home videos and seen the connection between who you're becoming now and your childhood self. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!